is happening there for the Raiders?
Complete discombobulation. They have a $102 million offense, which I know you may say, well, the cap's over $200 million. That's not much. It is when you have tens of millions in dead space. They only spent $60 million on the defense. They go get Josh McDaniels, who was universally lauded around the NFL as an offensive genius, and they can't get over 20 points. Their offense is impotent. It's uglier than me in the shower. It's why I shower with the lights off. It is absolutely an embarrassment. The defense is what's playing good, and they're underfunded. There is absolute. I mean, you got Davante Adams, who is arguably the best receiver in the National Football League, who they're struggling to get him involved. They have Josh Jacobs, who's the returning NFL leading rusher, and he's struggling to get involved. I mean, eventually, basically the entire offensive line -1, and it was supposed to be an upgrade, and they're struggling to get involved. You have Hunter Renfrow, who's an all-pro, who has disappeared. He's probably going to get traded. Well, not probably, but a good chance. Then you've got Jacoby Myers, who is a number 1, who's the number 2, who's playing like an all-pro. I mean, it is an absolute catastrophe, and it's absolute discombobulation.
Hondo, that was the first thing we kind of saw in the offseason is once Josh McDaniels got there, it seemed like, well, not this offseason, but when he first got there, he was trying to remove the guys that made them great. He was trying to remove the Hunter Renfrows. He was trying to remove Darren Waller, which he did. Like, I never understood that. Getting back to Davante Adams. What is that situation going on right there? Because Davante Adams, like you said, I agree. I still think he's the best wide receiver in the NFL. I could be wrong.
And let me just say, though, but when it's coming from a great one, great knows great. So your opinion is a hell of a lot bigger than mine because you're great.
I just think he's done it at every turn. No matter what quarterback was, he did it. Whether it was Jimmy Garoppolo, whether it was Derek, I mean, and the list goes on. What's that situation like? Like, he's talking about leaving. They don't want him to leave. We're in Detroit. I would love to land to Davante Adams. What's the situation with the Raiders and Davante Adams?
Well, I know him rather well, so if you've heard him talk about leaving, I've not heard that. He has voiced frustration.
Okay, frustrations maybe.
Yeah,
my apologies.
He's voiced, because I don't think he wants to leave. He has voiced frustration multiple times. You know, he said something the other day, and you guys know how the media works. There's a lot of people that do it right. It's why I love Woodward, even though I'm in Vegas. I'm watching you guys all the time. I love it. And there are people like us that we realize we're not news creators, we're news reporters. Then there are people that want to create. So I'll give you an example. I'm the one a year before he came that broke the story that Davante was coming to the Raiders. And because I doing what I do, you know, people hate
one of the many stories you've broke over the course.
Correct. Yeah. And so, but I broke that. Okay, so then literally the night before he came, I'm telling everybody, relax. There's stuff that's going to happen. You know, and people are saying, I thought you said Davante was good. Well, the next day signed. And then you may remember it went viral, his comments after Derek Carr got benched. You know, Davante wants out. So I asked him, Davante, if they can, you got to remember my words were important. If they get you a person that you're confident in to get you the football, do you want to stay? And he said, absolutely I do. He wants to be there. So this is a guy, and the thing that I love about Davante and I respect about Josh McDaniels that's different than Bill Belichick, they don't want him silent. They're not trying to silence him. Him and Josh are on the same page. There's frustration because the offense isn't working, but Josh is as frustrated as anybody, you know, about the fact that it's not working. Now, Tom Brady was coming to the Raiders. I'm not going to get into a whole lot.
Absolutely. I totally believe you.
I'm not getting into a lot until certain people are no longer viable.
Understood.
Then I'm going to actually write a book about it.
Okay.
But Tom Brady was coming to the Raiders. They had every reason to believe it. Tom did not deceive them. I'm not implying that there was none of that. But some things happened that precluded him from being able to come. Now, I don't believe they would have moved on from Derek Carr to get a Jimmy Garoppolo. In fact, I 100% believe that. But they were stuck then, so they had to go get Jimmy Garoppolo. Well, you're married to him. They gave him a contract. They're married to him this year and next year. I would have rather seen a prove-it deal. I would have rather not gone to Jimmy because he's a nice guy, but he can't stay healthy. They've had 7 games. He's been out for 4. I mean, he's only played for 4.5. And so there's frustration that the offense isn't working. But the problem is this. They've played 3 quarterbacks. Aiden O'Connell, who's a good rookie out of Purdue. Brian Hoyer, who everybody around here knows. And every quarterback looks bad. The offense looks bad everywhere. The coaching has been terrible on the offense. It's been horrible. And it's amazing to me to have all of those weapons. Now, I'm going to tell you this. The Las Vegas Raiders are not coming into Ford Field on Monday night with a team lacking talent on the offensive side of the ball. In fact, I believe you could make an argument
more talented,
that there's more talent on them than Detroit. The difference is MCDC has a better team. And you guys have known this from being along. Talent doesn't mean anything if you're not a team. They're not on the same page. I'll give you a good one. I wrote an article a couple of weeks ago. I got several NFL executives to talk about the Raiders. What do you think? And everybody's stacking the box to stop Josh Jacobs. And if Josh doesn't run it, we're just blitzing the quarterback. And multiple times there's guys open down the field and the quarterbacks aren't getting them the football. And when you don't have to worry about stretching, I mean, Braylon, how many games as a Spartan have you crucified my soul because Michigan State had to double, triple you, and you still caught balls, but you guys were able to run because they couldn't stack the box. It's the same principle, and you know this. That's one thing I love about MCDC. He's going to just stack the box and say, okay, you haven't thrown deep on anybody, so until you throw deep on us, welcome to Ford Field. We're here to eat. And it's going to be brutal on Monday night.